So we came up with, that was our internal analysis, we came up with a new finding that the allocations should be closer to 96% for click and 4% for the electric side at that time. So a big change from 75-25 to 96-4, again, based on our analysis of the actual usage of the staff and so forth in each of the cost centers. Those allocations have been used, so we use them as part of our strategic planning and all of the financial planning and so forth that has gone on, and evaluation of the different proposals that have been discussed. But we have not taken the step until now of formally adopting for our financials, budgets and rates, adopting a new allocation model, in part because we knew we were going to also have to have that reviewed before we went forward with it. So moving forward to this year.
So can I just, I want
sure.
to clarify because I want to make sure I understand that. So you're saying the budget we passed, the current biennium budget, is still under 75-25.
Correct.
But the planning, when you're thinking about business plans or what do we do about the future, you're saying currently for planning purposes you're using 96-4.
So we have used it in the conjunction with, so for example, the slide that was presented to you, the 100% allocation model slide, that was because we have this analysis that shows that a lot more of the cost, closer to 100% than 75% of the cost, really belongs to Click. And so in terms of understanding, does Click have enough revenue to cover its costs? What are all the costs we've looked at? We've been using that for planning purposes and so forth.
Okay. So you're using it, but you're rounding up.
Well,
I think that's the biggest, as far as the elephant in the room, that's the thing that I get the most feedback from citizens on, is the allocation. They feel
Right.
like, you know, maybe Click isn't really losing as much money, why don't
Right.
we change the allocation? I mean, that's really what the big concern is.
It is, and that's why we've made it a big feature of this
I know.
presentation today,
I
because
know.
we need to clear that up. There's
Yeah.
a lot of misinformation about that out there that has been unhelpful. So we're trying to clear that up now.
Well, so I guess for me to understand the consequences of rounding up, I mean, what is a percentage?
I'm not sure what you mean by rounding up.
Well, you go from 96 to 100.
Oh, well, that's a small, I mean, we're gonna fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't, so
It doesn't make it.
the reality is, whether you use a 90-10 allocation, 95-5 allocation, 100-0 allocation, the reality is the outcome is the same. We're having a lot of discussion about, you know, moving relatively small dollars around, which we'll get to in a few moments.
So I guess I have to beg to differ that rounding up is not significant. I mean, 4%, if my math is right, of 33.5 million is 1.3 million.
Yeah.
And we haven't included a revenue offset.
So we're gonna fix it going forward.
And that's going to be important because that lends itself to credibility
Exactly.
of
That's
what
why-
we're talking
that's
about.
why we're here.